Uh-oh. Hold on. Is my sound coming up? Okay. Gotta make sure the sound quality right. All right. So greetings and hello everybody. This your girl Tiffany. I'm here live in effect. So tonight I want to get on the topic about ego fragility and the state of the conscious community. Now, I know this subject seems like it's redundant, and it is, but I'm saying this, I'm only speaking on it because I'm at that tipping point. I'm at the point where I'm just really fed up altogether. As of right now, I'm unable to be on Facebook because of a situation where I happened to go off on somebody, and had to check somebody, a grown man at that, because he decides that he wants to continue to speak my name in a disrespectful manner. And I'm not going to tolerate that at all. You know what I'm saying? Especially if somebody is old enough to be my father and they don't act like an elder or conduct themselves as such. So an incident like that led me to this video. Okay. He's not the only one. So what I want to talk about, the reason why I'm on the topic about ego fragility is because it's a lot of that that's going on as of right now in the community. I don't know what the hell I was stepping into. Okay. I've been on and off with this community for over a decade. Okay. And it seemed like the progress ain't getting no better for this conscious community. It's only getting worse. It's only getting worse only because of the certain individuals and their intention. So now there are those who have the intention on seeing progress and want to elevate and help our people to get to the next level. But there are those who just only doing it because they see the monetary value behind it and they only want to profit off of people's ignorance and not really trying to help people to build themselves. Then there are those who just want reputation. Now, we all want reputation, but I'm talking reputation as into where they think that if they can step on everybody's toes, they can get to that level of success. Now, let's talk about what ego fragility is, first and foremost. Let me get into that definition, okay? Because I want to discuss what that is first before I continue. And if you are on my channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. You can share this video or whatnot. All right, so now let's look at the term, what it's called fragile ego. That's what it's really called. So let's look up fragile ego. Okay, give me a second. All right, so when we look at the word fragile ego, right, One meaning of ego is a person's opinion of his or her own worth. Someone with a fragile ego has a sense of self that lacks confidence, who is easily caused to hold themselves in low self-esteem. All right. So that means a person who feels like they have to build some type of entitlement for themselves. And how do they go about building entitlement? That means they would have to tear down someone else or assassinate somebody else's character and try to belittle them to make them feel less of who they are, just to build themselves up, just to make themselves look more superior. And that's very common. That's very common in the conscious community. It happens too often where you have someone that's tearing down somebody else's intelligence or trying to belittle another person just to make themselves appealing and make themselves the authority figure where they can be worshiped and they can be regarded as higher honor. And it becomes a problem. It becomes a serious problem. Like these so-called intellectual groups out here, if they all came together and sat at the table and say, all right, let's put down our differences and let's focus on the commonality, then things will be much better. But when you have this group bickering at another group and saying this group is better than this group right here, and you got people that want to be the cheerleaders and trying to attack just so they can impress these individuals over here, then it becomes a problem. Then you got chaos that's created. So now the question becomes, is it about being genuinely intellectual, or is it about being intellectually, excuse me, is it about being genuinely intellectual or being an intellectual bully? Which one is it? Being an intellectual bully or being genuinely intellectual? And also another thing, if we still arguing about who's black and who ain't when it comes to our people, that's another problem. That goes to show you the state of where black people is going in the conscious community. And as a whole, you ain't making no accomplishment. You're not making an argument. So I'm seeing somebody on this post talking about it was a post on Facebook talking about Bob Marley is not black, he's biracial. What point are you making? Okay, Bob Marley's not black, he's biracial. Okay, so what? A lot of our ancestors who was enslaved, they were of biracial background. You will come to find out there was a lot of them that was biracial as well. But they were so connected to their African roots. They were so connected to their black side. Many of them did not have a connection with their European or what other ethnic group they was mixed with. They didn't have that much connection as they did with the black, because they understood what their parents and their grandparents had to endure. Many of these people who you call mulatto, biracial, whatever, they played a pivotal role in the black community. These people have created foundations that you stand upon today, whether it be masonry, whether it be education, whether it be abolitionists or the abolition movement, whether it be philanthropy work. They all created something that you stand on the foundation of. And some of your favorites that you admire partake into interracial relationship. So, me personally, I don't agree with interracial marriage. I don't agree with interracial relationship. I do believe in black love, but at the end of the day, who am I to tell somebody who may be biracial that they cannot identify with the other half of them? Who am I to sit here and tell somebody who might be black mixed with Indian or black mixed with Japanese that they cannot identify with being black because they got Japanese in them? Who am I to say that? That doesn't make sense. Because to be technically honest, we all ain't 100% nothing. We all got a little something in us, okay? Especially us in the diaspora, especially those of us that's in North America, the UK, or even in the Caribbeans. We all got a little something in us. And that something will be European or maybe a little Native American, but more so European. So if we're still arguing about who is who and who ain't black, then that goes to show you where we at as a state of black folks in America, especially those in the conscious community. That goes to show you where we at. We're not getting nowhere. We ain't making no progress. We ain't making no progress at all. If we still arguing about this person ain't considered black, that person ain't considered ADOS, this person ain't considered foundational black America, and that all that other bullshit. We ain't going nowhere. So while you sitting up here worrying about who's ADOS, who FBA, who biracial, this, that, and other, we're still dealing with problems and issues within our community. We're still dealing with chaos within our community. We're still dealing with poverty. We're still dealing with injustice. That's what we dealing with, but we too busy arguing about a bunch of bullshit. That bullshit that ain't getting us nowhere. That's what we sit here arguing about. All these different groups out here, and nobody want to come together to really focus on the common cause. To me, that shit is dead. Sitting up here arguing about who is biracial, that's dead. Sitting up here arguing about, because the same people that you call FBA and ADOS, they come from African descended people. They come from African descended people, whether you like it or not. It is what it is. You can't change your genetic. That's a part of your bloodline. So whether you got a problem with the people in the continent or whatever, ain't nothing you can do to change it. Just like you can't change the fact that you got some crackers in your blood or any other ethnic group. You can't change that shit. It is what it is. It's there. But all this condemnation, you're not making no progress. You know what I'm saying? And then you got black people worrying about folks who following religion, whether it be Christianity, Islam, Judaism, or they go along with the African spiritual systems. That's people's personal choice. They have a right to choose what they want to do. If that's what they want to worship, if that's what they believe in, they entitled to that. As long as they're not trying to indoctrinate you. Then, the most common one is the male versus the female. This shit never ends. It never ends. Men versus women. Black women this, black women that. Black men this, black men that. Whoopty whoopty woo. It never ends. It never stops. So you got a case of you got a case of someone who wants to be dominant, and you got a case of someone who's considered as subordinate. Instead of understanding one's nature and trying to harmonize and bring the balance, it's where you going? What point are you proving? Okay, you're a male. And so what? Do you got what it takes? Just because you a man and because you got a penis, and just because you're a woman, you got a vagina, and it just it doesn't end. It does not end. It does never end. It's a never ending situation. So we allow all these things to break us up. I know that everybody is not going to, you can't be cool with everyone. You can't get along with everybody. I get that. But dang gee, I mean, we already in a bad shape. I mean, how much worse can it get? How much worse can it get? We're already in a bad shape. We already fucked up as a people, especially because of our history and the past 400 years of what we had to deal with in America. You see what I'm saying? But now it's even worse because you got people that walk around here with ego fragility, means that they got a fragile ego. They have low self-esteem. And in order to make themselves feel good, they gotta make themselves dominant, make themselves more appealing, make themselves top notch, but they can't bring any form of practical solution to the table. I mean, come on, bruh. I don't get it. Okay, you got all the knowledge, you got all the scholarship. Cool. And that's great. That's wonderful. That's beautiful. But now what you gonna do to help this young man or this young lady to make that progress? To become successful? What you gonna do for those brothers and sisters that are business owners and that's trying to get their business promoted? See, as you can tell with my channel, for those who have tuned in, if you notice, I don't really have debates going on. It's just me most of the time. And what I do, majority of the time, I talk about Black history. That's particularly in America and the diaspora and the continent, but for the most part in America, okay? Because this is where we were born and raised. And it's a lot of information that we don't know about Black people in America. And what you notice is I always present literary sources. What do I mean by literary sources? Information that comes from the source itself, the websites, the books, the PDFs, the ebooks. That's why I present. Because it's real easy for me to do what others do, make up information, or try to indoctrinate someone and not be able to back things up. I'd rather give a person the opportunity to look things up for themselves than for me to make up something that is nonsensical and that doesn't line up with the facts. So I'd rather say, here it is, go find it out, do your homework, do your research. So nobody can say she's slandering, she lying, she making up stuff, this, thing, other. Nobody can say that because I have it right there. It's presented. And I do this on my own time. I do this because I want to. It's not because I have to, it's because I want to. Okay? Somebody who work a 9 to 5 job, actually 2 jobs at that, and still make time to do the things that I'm doing. I don't ask much for nobody. Yeah, I may put up a cash app and say, hey, if you want to send, if you want to donate, cool. Because I give you the opportunity to send your donation if that's what you want to do. If you don't want to do nothing about it, that's fine. You don't have to. And you have that right to make that decision. But at the end of the day, it's about being able to find out information, seeking out information for yourself, doing the knowledge. So I wanted to do this platform. It wasn't I have to do it, I wanted to. And I appreciate those who have been on here to support me. I appreciate those who have been sharing my channel, my video. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Because you didn't have to do it, but you did it. But getting back to the point, the current state of Black people in the conscious community is discombobulation. That's the current state, discombobulation. Too many broken people. Too many fucked up individuals. Too many intellectual bullies. Not people who really want to see progress. Not people who want to see folks moving forward. But people who want to tear other people down just to make themselves look good. Just so they can have people worship them. And this is insane to me. See, let me show you something. I'm finna say this, and it might strike a nerve, but oh well. White supremacy has been ingrained in us. You don't get what I'm saying. White supremacy has been programmed into us. So what I'm saying is, white people ain't got to really do, the white man ain't got to do that much work, because guess what? The white man has programmed it into you. So you took on the ideas of the white man because you have been under the oppression for so long and been under the torture for so long that you start to carry on some of the ideas or a lot of the ideas from the white man, and you pass it on down to each other and don't even realize it. And it's funny, we talk about let's fight against racism. Well, how are we gonna fight against racism if we fighting over who black and who ain't black? Light skin versus dark skin. This group versus that group. Black immigrants versus non-black immigrants. That's stupid as fuck. It's just ludicrous to me. I don't get it. I don't understand for the life of me. So if you're gonna sit up here and you're gonna dismiss somebody because they're an immigrant, you're gonna dismiss somebody because they're biracial, you're gonna dismiss somebody because they're light skinned, not dark skinned, then don't talk about racism. You can't talk about racism because basically that defeats the whole purpose. It really defeats the whole purpose. Because at the end of the day, it don't matter what group you got. Guess what? You don't even hold systemic power in this country. You ain't got no systemic power. You don't have a lot of business in your community. You don't even have a lot of political power. Yeah, Joe Biden had his inauguration. Yeah, he done put some black people in the cabins. But guess what? They still don't hold that much political power. You don't even really hold economic power in your community. So you really ain't in the place to say who can't do this, who can't do that, when you ain't even got the systemic power. Think about it. But anyways, I'm done. I'm done speaking on this. I'm going to continue to do the videos about Black history. I'm going to continue to do the videos about the West African history because that is our descendancy, whether you like it or not. I'm going to continue to do the video about those in Central African region because they are part of our descendancy as well. Okay? I'm continuing to do videos about current events because we need to keep up what's going on around us and be more consciously aware, especially when we talk about political issues, social issues. I'm gonna continue to do that. You know, I can make my channel about something that is totally irrelevant, that is totally dealing with just straight up celebrity gossip and all that. I could do that. But I choose not to because that's not important to me. There's other things that could be talked about besides celebrities all day. I'm just saying. But anyways, I want to thank you guys. For those who've been tuning in, those who've been watching, thank you so much. So I'm done, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Wherever you are, I hope you be safe. And if you want to go ahead and share this video, please do so. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel, which is Tiffany French. And until next time, take it easy on yourselves, all right? Be safe during this COVID-19. And continue to elevate yourself, elevate your mind, grow into yourself, develop the knowledge and wisdom that is necessary. May peace and power elevation be to you guys. And I do mean that. And thank you so much. All right. Until next time. Hey, and oh, by the way, hello to everybody in the chat. Thank you guys for coming in. Shout out to the people in the chat room. Shout out to Candy. Shout out to Sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, I'm out.